Well, hello, Stampers. It's the Pampered Stamper, and happy Monday to you. Monday means it's time for Cheer Corner. And yes, it's time to cheer someone up. I truly believe that we can change the world one card at a time. So, as we make this card together, if you're joining me, if you're not, that's okay. Sit back, relax, have a cup of coffee or tea, and enjoy the ride. But as you're watching, think about who could use a card in the mail to cheer them up. Okay, I just bought a whack load of stamps. So I am all set for the next while to send happy mail all the way from the Netherlands. Think of how exciting it would be for someone to get mail from the Netherlands. How often do you get international mail? Anyway, my name is Jackie Vandersar-Boot. You can still find me in the demonstrator locator in Canada as Jackie Bolcha and in Europe as Jacomina Bolcha because that's still the name in my passport. So for legal reasons, that's still who I am. It's really, really discombobulating. And it's my own fault because I just haven't gone after it. I'd rather make cards. Anyhow, let's take a look at my messy desk. Here we go. See, I already have the sentiments. I told you need to pick a sentiment that would fit in a 1 1/4 inch punch or die. And one is Christmas, thinking of you this Christmas day, which is perfect for someone who's having a hard time. And the Dutch one is Het is leuker met jou. Het is leuker met jou. It's nicer with you. It's more fun with you. And see what this is that's peeking out here. This is the celebration flyer. There's some pretty amazing things coming up in January and February. However, that's not what we're doing here. You need to start with a piece of, I have to think, what color is this? Pebbled Path. Pebbled Path, 5.5 by 8.5, and score on either side at 2 1/8, just a hair past 2 1/8. So I'm going to actually grab my paper trimmer so I can show you how to do that. So we're having typical Dutch weather today, and it rains and then it's sunny, and it rains and it's sunny. So I'm going here, and now this is the European one, so I'm just going to see, I have it at, 14.85 centimeters by 21 centimeters, scored at a hair past 5.2, so 5.2, so there it is in the score line right here. And then I turn the paper around and I score it on the other side. Now I had one done in shaded spruce in Imperial. Okay, so here it is. Let's see. I just want to see 2 1/8. And you know what? It's just a hair short of 2 1/8. So you've got your 2 1/8, and then you turn your card around and you do it 2 1/8. It's just easier to keep one measurement. 2 1/8 is that little. See, this is a 1/4. You go to the shorter one. That's 2 1/8, and then just move it over a little hair. Okay. So that's the start of things. And then the fun begins. So we have this. Then I like to do all my cutting and prepping ahead of time. I have 2 pieces of this pretty DSP, and this is from the Traditions of St. Nick. And it's 4.9 centimeters by 14.6, 2 of them, or 1 7/8 inch by 5 1/4. So you need those. Then I cut out 2 of these. And they are, any guesses, anybody? They are from the Countryside Corners dies. So here we have them. The bigger one. And let's just see how they fit with all the rest of them. Okay, so it's the 2nd largest and the 3rd largest that are missing from here. And there's also a cute little banner here that we forget about. Okay, so those are nice. And then this one I ran through. It is just beautiful. Look at the detail here, and it's called Snowy Sky Embossing Folder, and I have a feeling it might be retiring, so get your hands on that before it's gone. Okay, then I fussy cut. Oh no, I didn't fussy cut him. He's a die. He's die cut. Okay, and he is from the Traditions of St. Nick paper. And then the last thing we need is a belly band, and that's either 9 1/4 inches by 1 inch or 22.5 centimeters by 2.5 centimeters. So let's get started. This is not difficult, and it is beautiful. And it has, look at that, my Pampered Stamper thing is upside down. Please share this video if you like it, and otherwise give me a comment, give me a thumbs up. Just interact with me in some way, because that's really what it's all about. It's not fun throwing things out in cyberspace and not knowing whether people liked it or not. So I really appreciate it when you guys take the time to comment. It means the world to me. It really does. I answer all of them faithfully, religiously. It's the first thing I do in the morning is I check to see who commented where, and I always comment back. So you are appreciated. So I'm going to take some liquid adhesive, clean off the top, and let's just do both of these at the same time. Now, a little tip for this side of the paper. Do you see those beautiful detailed holly leaves? Cut them out. Cut a few of them out when you're watching TV. And don't cut them all out in one big sprig because that's a ton of work. Just cut out each little leaf, or you can do both. It doesn't matter. And you can add them to your tags, and it's just a really nice little detail that you can add. I saw that from Berdine Weideveld, and she does lovely work. And it's not a wonder she was on the artisan design team 2 years in a row. And she has lots of patience too. So I'm actually just going to open this and lay it flat so it doesn't buckle up on me. And I'm just going to slide that off, put it down, and then carefully adhere it. But while the other one is going to stick to my hand, you just knew that was going to happen, didn't you? There we go. Of course it did. See? What would life be if we didn't lose dies and stamps and didn't have things stick to us where they shouldn't? Okay, so there's only about 1/8 of an inch all the way around here, which is really nice. I love this paper. I love all things old and antique, and that's what this reminds me of. And now in the inside, so this is going to close like that. Doesn't it look beautiful already? I'm excited about it. I figured, now you might want to stamp this before you put it inside. So maybe we'll do that, but that's going to go inside, okay? And then take a look. For the belly band, I don't measure, okay, where it has to go. I just lay it down on my card, and then I just hold it steady, and I fold it over, and I fold it over, and then I turn it around, okay? And then all I'm going to do is put a little bit of glue over here. And the only tip I have for you here is don't do it too tightly, because otherwise you're going to struggle to get it off. So just a loose, gentle wrap, okay? Not super tight, so you can't be too anal about this. You just want to be loosey-goosey. There. And now we're going to flip it around and see, now it looks like there's like 4 squares. Looks so cool. And now the next step, before I forget, is you want to tie your ribbon around. Look how pretty this is. Okay, here we go. Loop it around. See, and then that whole belly band is going to be able to slide off your card. That's what makes it so pretty. Now, this kind of card might be needed to give in person because people don't always get it, okay? Non-card makers, they're not used to these fancy cards. You don't get them from Hallmark this nice. And have you seen the price of a Hallmark card lately? It's almost worth spending thousands of dollars on stamps. There you go. You know, truth be told, we don't make cards to save money. We make cards because it's meaningful and we love to do it, okay? Look at that pretty bow. I do love making myself a bow. I'm pretty darn good at it. It's because I had 2 girls and I always tied bows for their hair. Okay, let's trim it. When you trim your ribbon, always on the diagonal, okay, people? Otherwise it can fray. So I'm just going to leave that like that. Kind of put it off to the side. And now, and I have to say, this card was not my original idea. I saw it on the demonstrator planning place, but there's no watermark on the card, so I don't remember who did it. So I will have to go back and see if I can find it, and then I can give credit. Okay, so I'm going to glue this white piece on here, and then we're going to build our little scene. And you know what? I never intentionally steal anyone else's ideas, okay? So if you ever see anything on my page and it was yours, please comment. I love it when you do that because then I can give proper credit. Now, when I put this Santa on here, I'm putting 1 foot on the white and 1 foot on the gray because I'm kind of silly this way. I want that little snowflake right there above that tree to show. I don't want to hide it. It's too beautiful. Okay, now we need to find some dimensionals. And because this is just pattern paper, it's not super sturdy, I like to be a little more generous with the dimensionals, okay? So there's quite a few on here. And you can use the little edge pieces too, okay? I'm really grateful for you. Have I told you that today? I'm so happy. I'm so happy that you guys comment and that you share, that you're subscribing to my channel, because it's just one way that I feel like I'm making a difference in the world. And the more people that see me, the more people can be exposed to the joy of card making and of sharing. And there's so much crap going on in the world, so why not share the fun stuff and the good stuff? There we go, like Santa. Just, just like a kid, how we loved coloring and stuff and crafts. Funny thing is, I don't like crafts. I don't like things that get thrown away, but I love card making. Okay, so here we go. And he's going to sit on here. Now, how are we going to get this guy to be on our belly band? That's the question, right? So what I'm going to do, I see that we've got about one finger on both sides. So I'm going to leave that one finger blank. And then I'm going to tear the edges of my dimensionals, and I'm going to put them right along the bottom, like so. That guy doesn't belong there. Here. Oh, and you know what? I see that the backing is still on. If you don't take the backing off your dimensionals, guess what? They don't work. Okay. And here, it's going to go on the other side of the ribbon. See, it sticks better to the paper than to the ribbon. Okay, now I think that should do. Now we're going to slide it over. You kind of want to make sure that it's centered both ways. There. See, and now watch. See, it slides up and down. We're not quite finished yet. We still want to add maybe a tree. I did fussy cut a tree, but I have to find it. Oh yeah, here we go. I fussy cut a couple of trees. But I'm not sure because I still have to add my saying. And you know what? I cased the card, but now I don't know how it went. So, thinking of you this Christmas day. It could go on that side, but then you're covering up the nice Santa. Or it could go up here, thinking of you this Christmas day. And then we can add a few more trees here. I've got 3 cut out. I'm not sure. Okay, this is always where we get to the playing part. So don't be in a big rush to decide where your things are going to go. You can lay them down and then walk away and come back and see if you still like it before you commit to something. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. It's just a card, but still, you still want it to be your best card. Okay, so I'm going to give it a minute. Okay, guys, I decided that I needed to go back and find out who made this beautiful card. And her name is Laura Rodrick. So thank you, Laura, for this beautiful card. And in the meantime, I moved the St. Nick over just a little bit so that I could see some more of the embossing over here. I tore the paper a little bit because I had pressed down too hard. And now, oh goodness, I'm just a wreck. Here, let me see if I can show you. Let's see. See here? There's the back of my dimensional stuck to my table. So lots of things, crazy things happening, and I don't want that there. And this is how you ruin your nails, eh? You scraped off adhesive, and yeah, not good. Not good, my friend. I'm going to put some other little bits of dimensional around this one so that it will still work. You know, heaven forbid that I have to cut another die cut. Don't want to do that. So let's get these off. It's much easier to just lay it down loosely and before you really decide, but you know how we are. We like to change our minds. There. And now I should put a little adhesive. See, it's not sticking that well. And you don't want it sticking off. I'm taking that off. Craziness, eh? I'm going to put a little glue right here, just in case, on this side here. There. Just in case there's a little overlap with the Santa. I want to make him as strong as possible. There we go. Still, I will put a punch on this afterwards to press it down so that it all stays the way it should, because right now it isn't. Okay, and now the tree. The tree's going to go down flat. I don't want to pop it up because that will take away from the Santa. Okay. And here we go. There. And that's our card. Now, I have forgotten though, haven't I? What have we do? See and look, and here it is with Het is leuk en met jou. So it doesn't have to be a Christmas, although obviously it is a Saint Nick on there. Now, let's slide the belly band off. There we go. And now let's open it up, and we're going to finish it off. Okay? And we can just add a couple of little trees, like so. And I should find the Saint Nick stamp set. So here is the Saint Nick stamp set. Isn't that cool? And you know what I forgot to show you? I forgot to show you how to transform one into the other. And I think I have, see, this is what the saying is. And I have it like this. Okay, how do you do that? It's a good question. So, do I have it? I do have it. Here we go. I'm going to show you. I'm going to turn this around because I don't want to waste any paper. And then we're going to take a sticky note, and I will zoom in a little bit so you guys can see better. And maybe I can see better too. We just want the top, which is, we don't want a simple letter scent. We're going to cover that up. So we're going to do this. And we're going to cover up all the parts that we don't want. Okay? And then we're going to take a marker and we're going to ink it up. You want to make sure that the rest is covered up. And use the side of your marker. There. Now we peel this off, turn it around, and then look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops. There. Thinking of you this Christmas Day. Now, if you think that you're never going to use that other part as a whole, then you could carefully with your scissors cut your stamp in half. Okay, that's even quicker. But it's pretty narrow. We also have, let me see where my pokey tool is. Oh yeah, look at this. We've got an addition. Look at that gorgeous knife that comes and it fits right on your, take your pick tool. You can just go right in between and cut that. Okay, I'm not going to do it now, but I almost forgot to show you that little tip. Okay, back to the plan. I thought it might be fun to use the other Santa Claus, well, Saint Nick, he's not a Santa Claus, and he's going to go here, and I wouldn't mind doing them in smoky slate, but I don't feel like getting up again, so we're just going to stamp them in Memento, and that way if we want to color them later with blends, you can. But for the inside, you can just leave them black and white, because that looks nice too, just like an illustration in an old book. There we go. Well, you know what? I just didn't do that. I did not do that in Memento. I could smell it. I right away thought, oh, I smell the smell of almond extract. I use StazOn and not Memento. I'm not happy about that. But it worked out just fine, except I had ink on my finger. You know, life is life. That's just the way it is. So I'm not going to add that tree. I'm just going to leave this plain. Do I want to flip it and just leave the tree? Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to leave the tree. I'm not going to do the Saint Nick because I don't like it that I've got my fingerprint on there. So as long as you know, your paper has two sides, just do that. And that's really pretty too. Just a tree. You can do 2 trees if you want. Very, very decadent. They're going to feel the love. You gave them 2 fussy cut trees. Okay. Here. There. And now we're going to put that in the inside of our card. And they're not going to know that I messed up a little bit. And you got to see the stamp of the Saint Nick. So here we go. Make sure that, oh, you know what? It doesn't matter. There's no upside down. So that's good to know. One less way to screw up. And here we go. Just make sure your borders are fairly even. And then I'm going to leave it because I don't know if this is going to be a traditional Christmas card or if it's going to be just a note saying, and then you just go like that. And it slides right on. Isn't that just beautiful? Thank you, Laura, for this lovely card idea. Someone special is going to get this one. Okay, of course, someone special is going to get it. You're going to nominate someone to get that beautiful card. And then if I have to change the saying, I'll definitely do that. Okay, now don't forget two things. Number one, you need to tell me why this person needs to get the card. And number two, if I choose you, you need to send me their address. I've had it happen that people have nominated someone and I've said, yes, I'd love to send them a card. And then I don't hear anything back and I don't get an address. So that's kind of sad. And then after a while of sitting on the card, I do end up sending it to someone else, okay? Because I don't want my cards just sitting around. Thank you so much for joining me today. Don't forget to share my video if you liked it. Pin it to Pinterest. You can also now, there's a new option for you. If you want to support my business and you want to have even more inspiration, you can click on the word join at the bottom underneath my video, because there's a new membership program. There's 3 levels to choose from depending on how much extra stuff you want in your life. Okay? I hope you do. We're going to have a lot of fun together. Have a super day. Bye.